IPA gives you access to a whole different level of pronunciation awareness and resources. It'll just go a long way in your attempts to improve your pronunciation, intonation, and also even work on your accent. Now you are going to see some of the ways IPA will help you with your English. Knowing IPA is useful because when you come across a written new word, sometimes you won't know how it's pronounced because, as I said, the spelling of an English word doesn't exactly tell you how you should pronounce it. With experience, you get better at recognizing the patterns of pronunciation based on the spelling of words, but many times you either won't know or won't be completely sure. While it's true that nowadays it's easier to get access to audio recordings that will tell you how to pronounce a certain word, that doesn't mean IPA isn't necessary or helpful. IPA is a great tool that can complement audio recordings. It can even replace them when you are in a situation where you can't access the recording of a word. Let's say you are familiar with most English sounds, but you wonder what's the difference between ran and its past tense form, ran. You can perceive the vowel sound difference there, and you can also effectively articulate such difference. However, in practice, you could miss the fact that these two words don't sound the same, or you could even get confused and add another vowel sound altogether. It's here where your IPA knowledge will reduce the chances you'll struggle with pronunciation in a real-life speaking situation. You'll be much less likely to make mistakes because IPA will act as a safety net. That means you just remember that run is pronounced with an A vowel, like in cat or hat. A minimal pair is a pair of words that vary by a single sound. For example, the words bold and bold is a minimal pair that differ in the vowel sound. Heat and seed is another minimal pair that in this case differ in the consonant sound. Here IPA will help your memory, especially your visual memory. You can repeat 1,000 times, for example, the words hit and heat to never mix them up, and that's great. You'll be mainly relying on your ear, on your auditory memory. But then if you're making such a conscious effort to improve our English, why can't we make an extra effort and help ourselves with some visual memory? Because that's what IPA is after all, visual representation. You'll mentally see that hit is pronounced with an I sound, like you can see on the right of the screen, and heat is pronounced with an E vowel, like you can also see on the right of the screen. On the internet, and more specifically on forums, on YouTube, etc., native English speakers, teachers, and advanced English learners discuss pronunciation with IPA. And of course, if you want to join the discussion, you need to know IPA. And also, something that's very valuable is that if you are confused about a certain sound, with IPA you'll have a much better chance of finding accurate information about it. That's because as you're taught the IPA symbols, you're not going to be taught just the symbols themselves, you're also going to be taught how to articulate the sounds that each symbol is attached to. For example, you learn that the sounds A and E are articulated with your lips wide open, spread. We say evening, Spanish. You're also going to learn things like the difference between th and th. These consonant sounds differ in that one of them is voiced and the other one is voiceless. So the voiced sound th is voiced because as you articulate this sound, your vocal folds are vibrating. So you put your hand on your throat, you can actually feel that vibration. So for example, you say the word that, those, their, father, brother. You can actually, feel the vibration there, as opposed to the voiceless th, as in thin, thanks, think, thumb. Another important point to be made is that as you go through each symbol, each IPA symbol, you're giving a name and a symbol to each sound. This means that these sounds are no longer abstract, and this in turn means that you can much more effectively structure these sounds in your head, and so when you have a doubt, a confusion, you are much better prepared to address this pronunciation problem. Perhaps figure out what you are articulating wrong, or what you are missing, what little subtle sound you are missing, something that's wrong with the way you articulate, you pronounce these different sounds. So now if you are able to recognize each sound with a name and with a symbol, you're in a much better position to self-diagnose your own pronunciation problems.